Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I have an extremely cool, fun, interesting knife unboxing to share with you guys. Sincerely, this is going to be an awesome one. Usually, and Bestech does OEM work, and oftentimes Bestech is kind of like the background OEM, and the main emphasis is on the company themselves. And I find, for whatever reason, that's when Bestech shines the most. For whatever reason, and this is very subjective, when it's like, it's a Bestech knife, and it was designed by this person, which is still the same thing, but it's like more so branded as Bestech, they tend to be a lot less interesting. Also, typically, from this designer, not always my favorite stuff. Fun and cool designs and really interesting, and obviously he's a great designer, very technical designer, but not a lot of his stuff has spoken to me. This, however, the moment I saw this, oh my goodness, I could have not been faster to say yes to Bestech. I actually went to my DMs and saw that they had already messaged me, and I said, yes, immediately. Thank you so much to Bestech for sending this in. I'm very excited to check it out. I will link this down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. All right. What do we have here? I'm thinking that this may be larger than I have anticipated. That doesn't say anything. The Ika Dagger. I feel like people are going to call this the IKEA Dagger. I don't, even though that it's missing vowels, but okay. Oh my goodness. I think this is going to be larger than I thought, which is good. I think that makes it even better. Oh boy. Oh, it looks so good. It is. It's huge. Oh man. Oh my gosh. This is so sick. Okay. So this, and it is it an integral? I think so. This is the Ika Dagger by Tashi Bharucha. It is to the best of my knowledge, there's no seam here. This is a folding, symmetrical dagger. Oh my gosh, how cool. Now, it is false wedge up here, which, let's take a look back here. Boy, you can touch the edge. I can see why they did that. Also, I'm not sure about the manufacturing laws in China when it comes to double-edged blades. But all of that aside, you guys know, because I constantly talk about it, I love symmetrical knives. One of my favorite designs of all time is the Sharp by Design Arch Nemesis, which was made by Brian Nadeau. I have many knives in my collection that are, very symmetrical. I grew up being fascinated with old school Italian stilettos. I think that, the first time I saw one was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I'm pretty sure it's one of the weasels. But he pulls that switchblade out, and as a kid, I was like, what is that? It looked like a tiny sword. And ever since then, I've been obsessed with like super symmetrical knives. And I think that this design, while, somebody down in the comments is already frantically typing this, it's not very practical. Oh. Yeah. Wow, we've got that observation all figured out, huh? It's amazing that you came up with that observation by yourself. It's crazy. We'd all be lost without you. But the design on this knife is incredibly cool. As a knife enthusiast and somebody like many of you who's gotten a little bored with a lot of the same stuff we keep seeing repeated over and over and over again, every now and then something like this comes along and it just blows me away. They gave me a choice of a few different variations, all of the variations except for the Timascus and mirror polished one, but I'm not gonna complain. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Bestech, if you're watching. That is the coolest version though. And I saw this black one with this like sort of minty green, what I assume is carbon fiber here. And I thought, I don't have anything in my collection that looks exactly like that. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, does it glow? I honestly have no idea. And as soon as I can locate the flashlight that was right out on the table. Oh, here it is. We'll give this a shot and see if it does anything. I mean, it certainly does. Oh my God, it is. I honestly didn't think it was going to glow. I just thought it was green. I just thought it was like super, like green carbon fiber. No, this is the glowy stuff. Oh boy, cool. This makes this so much more, I mean, even not so much more, but even more interesting. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's take a look at that. How awesome. I love that. It doesn't have any, real amazing practical use. But it is really, really cool. I just think that's really fun. Oh man, I love that. Okay, let's turn the lights back on. Really neat. Nice little added bonus there with this guy. This is a big, thick knife, and I will be completely and totally upfront and honest with you guys. It is not very comfortable. These ledges right in here and these edges right down here do make for a less than optimal ergonomic design. I mean, I can hang on to it, and it's not like absolutely annihilating my hands, but this was clearly designed as form first, function second, which is fine and not at all a new thing. It's actually very common, with a designer who's, leaning more towards the designy end of this. It's obviously still functional. Like, you could take this out and use it, but I don't expect this to be like, oh my God, super comfortable. The best lock-in point is probably right here. I think it's meant for these 3 fingers and then maybe this finger down here. Gain traction on this backside, right? But because of these like almost 90-degree angles here, like go down and then this one slopes up, but it's still kind of a point. It's not going to be incredibly comfortable. But yeah, you can see the idea. I mean, what we were trying to do with the lines, we were trying to keep everything perfectly symmetrical and still keep that pointed look, almost like they were making another dagger blade go this way. In fact, it almost looks like this inlay is like 1-to-1 for the blade. Like it's meant to mirror that perfectly, and then this is meant to sort of highlight it. I really appreciate that we used a black screw here for the carbon fiber. You would think that this is always a no-brainer. You'd be surprised how many designers are just like, yeah, throw a silver screw in there. Let's ruin it. So really nice. Also love that the pocket clip, actually the pocket clip's not bad at all, but I also like that the pocket clip is on theme. I think that's really, really cool. The fact that this, I mean, gosh, they do have a, is this a nested steel liner? Is that what this is? I think so. Let's take a look at the inside of it. Switch to flashlight mode. So no, it's titanium. Holy moly. Okay, so let's see how we're doing this here. Oh no, it is attached. How interesting. Okay, so this is a separate, the reason I can tell it's titanium is because there's a steel lock bar insert right there. But I can also see that there's additional screws right here. I thought, how did they do this? If it's all part of the frame, they didn't just split it. It's a separate piece that is attached. Probably once you take this screw off, you can see one of the screws right there for the inlay. Once you take that screw off, then there's probably attachment screws underneath. This is actually a really interesting way to do this. So this is not a frame lock, which I think is cool. I think the system is better. Not having the frame lock exposed on this, I think is definitely better. And then they attach this with this, all of this. I'm sorry, let me restart. That was a stupid sentence. They attach this liner underneath the inlay with screws that are hidden and flat underneath the inlay is what I'm trying to say. Very cool. I do not know what this coating is. Something tells me that it's probably not DLC. It looks more like, like your whenever I say it looks like PVD, people say, well, PVD is a process and DLC is actually applied via the PVD process. Everybody knows exactly what I'm saying when I say PVD, right? Well, what I'm saying is it's a PVD process coating, but a lesser tier coating than DLC, right? But as somebody's always got to be like the guy at the back of the class, like waving his hand around, ooh, me, ooh. Dork. Anyways, probably not DLC is what I'm trying to say there. Let's see. M390. All right. Not sure how Bestech is heat treating their M390. I've heard I saw an interesting argument, not really argument, an interesting claim from Knife Center. Typically, and this is not the steel, we're talking about the blade, right? I have no idea how their steel is heat treated. We'll have to wait until Taylor has some additional testing done on this. But typically, the geometry of a dagger blade or dagger style blade means that the thickest part of the blade is in the center. And even if we're working with a thinner blade stock, the taper down to the cutting edge tends to be, not super aggressive. So you end up with a pretty thick cutting edge. Knife Center made a statement that a lot of times daggers can actually cut better because you're not dragging, like with a blade that starts, like the thickness starts up here, like the maximum, the thickest part of the blade is up here on the spine, right? So then you're not dragging this part. I guess there's something to do with like, because it widens out at the top, and I was like, that's weird. Like there's less, like the flat itself is smaller and it tapers down on the other side, so you're dragging less of the blade overall through the material. Like I don't know. I think that there's probably some science behind that, and it probably depends on the exact geometry of the blade. But typically, the initial cutting edge, right? Maybe there's a reduction in total drag, but the initial cutting edge is usually not incredibly impressive. This can slice, obviously, but you can also see where the edges of the paper are lifting, which is typically the case when the cutting edge is, thick. You usually get a perfectly clean slice when the initial cutting edge is much thinner, right? So I don't know that I loved that. I think I understand what they're saying. I just don't know that it applies in a way that's going to be super beneficial to the average person, right? Good for poking, though, for sure. This is extremely cool. As an EDC object, not going to be incredibly practical, not going to be super comfortable, not going to be an efficient slicer. As the cool factor, though, is off the charts. Cool factor is completely and totally off the charts. And as a knife enthusiast, I can confidently say I have absolutely nothing in my collection that's exactly like this. I love how we've done the inlays and the nested liner lock. I think that is awesome. Do not expect this knife to be cheap. I know that people are going to click on the link and they're going to go and find it and they're going to go, oh my God, why is it twice as much? Because it is an integral. Because it is an integral. Integrals cost more money to make. Sorry, that was obnoxious. That is the truth, though. That is factually true. This exact same thing and being created with two pieces of titanium that have been screwed together, this is a less expensive way to build it. Now, could they have built it this way? Sure, they didn't, though. They built it as an integral. But I don't like integrals. That's fine. You don't have to, but your feelings on integrals don't actually change the production costs. So it's just going to factually cost more, right? The end result here, in terms of balance, is that the balance is quite a ways back. That's no big deal. Truthfully, it's the same way on mine. Both my integral Excalibur and the two-piece construction, right? So, yeah, not going to be a cheap object. Not going to be something you can just pick up for, $100 and enjoy. It's going to be multiple hundreds of dollars. I actually don't know exactly what the price is. I would expect this to be between $400 and $500. If it's under $400, I think that would be absolutely amazing, but something tells me it's going to be more. So yeah, very, very cool. This is not a review, just an unboxing and first impressions. We will do the review down the road. Let me go ahead and measure this real quick. Overall length is, 8.75 inches. Blade length is 3.85, and your cutting edge is 3.5. Super cool. Absolutely phenomenal. This might be one of my favorite designs of 2026. I just did the video, my top 10 favorite knives of 2026. This is something I'm going to have to think about, for myself as we approach, later on in the year, when we get to the end of the year. Most people know that I do that video twice. I do one mid-year, like between May and July. This year was in May. And then I do another one in December, and I give you guys my absolute final thoughts on the best knives that released of the year. And a lot of it is purely subjective. A lot of it's just like designs, things like that. We do different categories. But as far as designs go, this is definitely one of the most interesting. I love this. I wish more companies would do stuff like this. I think this is so cool. Awesome. As of right now, this is my favorite Tashi Bharucha design by a landslide. Very cool. Nice work, Bestech. Nice work, Tashi Bharucha. Where is my card? My card is gone. Here it is. That's going to be it today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.